That's all you. How's the Freedom?
These went up for sale on GunBroker a little while ago. This is one of the used models. They had some new in-box ones for sale too. These came out first, and the story is, this is one of the Cerakote ones before they switched to IonBond, and the story is that the Cerakote wasn't holding up as well as the USMC had hoped, and they sent them back to Colt, and instead of Colt refinishing them in IonBond, they instead just sent them new pistols in IonBond, and then these became Colt's property once again, no longer property of the Marine Corps. So Colt was able to sell them. I think they sold some to employees first, and then the remainder, which I think was about 700 to 1,000, they sold to GunBroker, and GunBroker then resold them. These lasted about a weekend, I think, before word spread around, and I got one of the last ones that went up for sale. I wasn't gonna buy one, and then I caved. But after that, then they sold some new in-box ones, same thing, owned by the USMC, decommissioned, and swapped out for IonBond, to my understanding. They just hadn't been used yet, so they got sent back, even though they had never been taken out of the box, supposedly. So this one was one of the last ones they sold, and it took kind of a while to get it. They didn't even ship it for 2.5 weeks. Buddy bought one 5 minutes after me, and it's been over 3 weeks now, and they still haven't shipped his. So kind of a bummer for him, but I got lucky, I guess. So this one's relatively worn, and I'll give a close up shortly. Has what, I'm not sure if it's a rack number or some sort of unit identifier or something, but it's a A14 here on the back of the slide on the right side. Then on the grip safety, it also has a vertical blue line. The number and the letter look like it was Sharpie, and then this blue line looks like paint marker. So mine also came with some grip tape on the front strap, and it's got a pretty heavy amount of holster wear. The gun shipped with a new Wilson Combat 7-round magazine. To my understanding, that's the same magazine that the gun shipped with to the Marine Corps. This is just a new one. This one wasn't used. So, and mine at least is really, really smooth. I mean, you can tell it's been shot a lot, or at least it seems that way. You know, also I'll try to show this on camera, but the inside of the frame, the Cerakote's completely worn off. Like, they just changed mags like crazy, so it really seems like this one got really used. Although I took it apart, and it seems like it's mechanically pretty much perfect. You know, everything feels good. I've shot it. It worked flawlessly. You know, slide locked back on the last round. I mean, fed and ejected everything perfectly, even kind of my janky reloads, as well as some new FMJ ammo. It's surprisingly accurate. I mean, the bushing's pretty loose, and it's got a little bit of a battle rattle. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's not sloppy. It's just not tight, which is probably a good thing. But I mean, pretty easy to hit like a 10-inch plate out at like 35 to 40 yards if I didn't, you know, mess up my trigger pull. And it wasn't too hard to keep a good trigger pull, because the trigger's really good. It's pretty crisp, and it's a little heavy, but definitely not too heavy. I think it kind of makes sense for the purpose of the gun. The night sights are still good, as I would expect them to be. These shouldn't be that old. But anyways, overall, I'm really happy with the gun. Took a while to come in, but it's really cool that they sold them. I'm glad I was able to snag one. Honestly, I'm now that I have it, it's like cooler than I even thought it was going to be. I was kind of on the fence about buying one, but I'm really glad I did. So anyways, I'll try and give some close-up shots and break it down right now. Alright guys, so here's the M45. I'm going to try and get it as close up as possible for everybody. So this is the left side, of course. And you can see it's got a lot of holster wear on the slide. There's even some up here on the top. I don't know how well you can see that. I'll try to show every angle. The one thing to note here is that, you know, a lot of the production, except for a few early ones, the production model M45s didn't actually say USMC on the slide. Again, some of them did, but most of them didn't. So this one, of course, does say USMC on the slide, and you'll notice that over the USMC roll mark, there's an X laser engraved on top of that. You can actually see where the laser kind of burnt the Cerakote a little bit, and that was to signify that they were being decommissioned. Not entirely sure why they chose that. It might have been kind of cool if they didn't laser out the USMC, but it was probably for the same reason that they told Colt to stop marking the production models with the USMC, whatever that was. Moving on. So here's the other side of the gun. And again, you can see more holster wear. There's also this, what I assume to be a rack number or something on the back of the slide here, this A14 in Sharpie. So here's the top. There's plenty of holster wear up there on the top too. Even some down here on the bottom of the slide and underside of the frame. The dust cover on the rail. Then you can get a good look at the grip tape. They came like that. I didn't put that there, and it's a little sloppy too. You can tell they were going, you know, form follows function with that. Another cool thing about this one is that this barrel is actually a Colt National Match barrel. So to my understanding, when they first came out with these, I don't think they were using National Match barrels. I think they specifically spec'd standard barrels. So I'm not sure why, but for whatever reason, maybe mid-contract or something like that, they swapped them over to National Match barrels. Again, don't know why. Kind of cool though. So other than that, here's a good look at the grip safety where it's got that blue line. Someone online told me that their best guess, having been in the armed forces of some branch, I don't remember which one they said, but their best guess was that was an easy way to identify which unit or group or team that the gun belonged to when it was on a rack. So they might have different colors of stripes, and so, you know, blue all belong to one group, maybe green or yellow or whatever all belong to another group, so that they could just look at them real quick and see, which makes a lot of sense. I bet he's right, but that's the best theory I've heard. So again, Wilson 7-round mag, brand new. This was not the one that originally shipped with the gun, or it wasn't a used one. It was brand new when I got it. It was kind of nice. At least they shipped it with a mag. So not a whole lot noteworthy. Again, I'll try to give a good shot of the right side of the pistol, and a good shot of the left side. Alright guys, sorry we had to cut there because I'm dumb and was holding the gun out of frame. So here's a shot of the back. You can see you know, that blue stripe again. And here we've got a shot of the front. Hopefully that's easier to see now. So now I'm going to break the gun down. Try to keep all this in frame this time, or at least the important stuff. So Stainless bushing, not coated. Here we've got the dual recoil spring setup that Colt's been using. This they originally made this for the M45, and it's made its way into a bunch of other Colt models as well, so it's kind of neat. Let's see. Slide stop. You can see on the pin. You probably can't see this on the camera, but it's got good contact on the top of the slide stop from the barrel feet and good contact on the back also. So I mean, which is in my experience pretty common with Colts, especially ones with the national match barrel. It's something that contributes heavily to accuracy in my opinion. So you know, stainless bushing, easy to remove by hand, but still makes for an accurate gun, which is kind of the best of both worlds there. Probably you know, you might see an accuracy difference versus something like a bear if you put it in a rest, but it's not what this gun's made for, and it's plenty accurate. Alright, so on the frame here, you can see, you know, big old beefy rail. The slide rails, or the frame rails that the slide rides on, are pretty much completely worn down to the metal. I think there's a little bit of Cerakote on this side that you can kind of see. But on this side, it's pretty much just bare stainless steel. It does look like they were originally coated. I think this one has just been shot quite a bit. Also, you can see, hopefully maybe, the feed ramp there. It looks like it was originally coated, and then the bullets kind of wore a path through it down to the metal. In my opinion, they really should have polished the whole feed ramp after coating, but clearly it didn't keep it from working. Stainless, non-coated recoil recoil rod, guide rod. Here's the national match barrel. You can tell it's been shot. I mean, you can see, I don't know if it's easy to see on the camera, but you can see some wear marks on the barrel on the outside. It just looks like the finish kind of smoothed out from the barrel bushing going back and forth. And then kind of the usual wear you'll see on the barrel hood. Barrel looks to be in great shape though. All the important stuff is good. Like the upper lugs are nice and crisp. The lower lugs or the barrel feet look really good. They don't look worn really at all, much less excessively. Slide, I think the inside of the slide wasn't coated except for maybe this part right in here. I think that was coated because it looks like it has some Cerakote on it still, but the rest has like up here in here has no Cerakote whatsoever. So it doesn't look like it wore off, because I think there would still be bits and pieces here and there if that were the case. And you know, Series 80 firing pin safety, no surprise there. But you know, the stuff, I guess I said it looked like it had been shot a lot, and I still think that. However, the important stuff, like you'd see, you know, where the recoil tunnel on the slide piles into the back of the guide rod and then into the frame. There's no peening on like this metal at all. I mean, it looks perfect. So and then this may or may not be the original guide rod, but you can see some wear where it definitely got hit by the slide as normal, but again, no peening, no excessive wear that I can tell. And then same thing for in here on the frame. I mean, it looks pretty much perfect. I mean, at least in my opinion, other than the finish wear, this gun is mechanically dang near perfect. I mean, even the safeties only have a little bit of wiggle between them, which is kind of, I don't know if you can see that, and I'm not holding it perfectly still, but there's just a little bit of play between the two safeties, but that's kind of what you expect with an ambi safety on a 1911. So really, I think it's mechanically just about as good as it could be. You can tell it was used a lot, so I guess that is a testament to how well these Colts hold up. They're really great guns in my opinion, and I had that opinion before buying one of these, but this one just kind of cemented that. Oh, the other thing I was going to show is I don't know how well you can see that, but inside the magwell of the frame here, hopefully you can see it, but almost all the Cerakote is worn off, and you can tell it was Cerakoted because there's still bits and pieces left of it in there, but it's pretty evident that a lot of mags went in and out of here. So, further making me think that this gun really was a shooter. Stuff like that, the grip tape, all the holster wear, the wear of just the finish off the frame and slide rails and stuff like that. It's in the hammer. I mean, on the face of the hammer, there's almost no finish left. So just, yeah, I think this one got shot. I mean, at least 25,000 rounds if I had to guess. I mean, it looks. A lot of the wear spots that you see like that are just as worn as my Bear, if not more. So, but anyways, I don't think I'm forgetting any important info. So, thanks for checking it out. I'm excited to shoot it more. Hopefully, this video was informative and cool because they didn't put many of these out, especially not the used ones. So, hopefully, that gave a little bit more info. Thanks for watching.